All right, this question we got. Here is 6C19. Wait a minute. 6C19 in the book, number 3 online. Assume that a set of data is normally distributed with a mean of 100 and standard deviation of 25. Use the empirical rule to find the following quantities. All right, so what do you do first? Draw what? Draw a curve. Oh, magenta. What's the mean? 100. What's the standard deviation? That's 125 and what? And we'll go ahead and put a third standard deviation out here of what? 175. And then what? 75, 50, and what? 25. So you know everything out here is an outlier. This is unusual. And what is this? Normal. Unusual. And outlier. Now this is 34%, 34%, 13.5, 2.5, and that's both of these. 13.5 and 2.5. I think they say this is 2.3 and this is 0.2, something like that. All right, now what does it say?
The percentage of score is less than 100.
Okay, so where's 100? So what is that? Remember, this is E, and this is what? Full. Remember me telling you it's like a gas hand. Empty. What's this mark right here? Quarter. What's this mark? I didn't hear it. Half. What's this mark right here? 3/4 and full. So, what's less than 100? 50%. Really? Somebody's done messed up. And 50% makes up this, because this is 2.5, 13.5, 34, 34, 13.5, and 2.5. I would explain what just happened, but it'd take me longer to explain because there's two different whiteboards. There's the one that comes with the projection system, which I can't record, and that's what I was on. That's why I was writing in magenta. So it wasn't on the screen, it's not recording, so that's useless. That's why I had to switch it over to the computer writer. Anyway, that's the shortened version. So 50%. and you feel good about yourself. The percentage of scores greater than 125. So that means this area. So what is it? And how did you get 16%? Add 13.5 and 2.5. That's why you have to learn the empirical rule, or have it on a card beside your test while you're taking your test. But not your in-class test, because the in-class test is going to be hard and you're not going to be able to pass it. 16%. The percentage of scores between 50 and 125. Well, there's 125. I can't add or subtract. Find that door. There. So we'll take my blue pen, and between 50 and 125, somebody add those up. Well, I'll add 34 and 34 up. That'd be 68. Now, what's 68 plus 13.5? 81.5. And you feel good about yourself. So you don't have to put on too much makeup or like Oompa Loompa. Or put smokestacks on your forefinger. Pickup truck. And you feel good about yourself. Everybody good? All right, just for good measure, y'all do that one. Draw a picture and answer the 3 questions. Well, we'll go through the 3 questions together, but draw a picture first. You see why I told you to print out the curve and put 6 on a page and print out like 10 copies? You're going to get tired of drawing these curves. And it is a generic question, so it's not going to be too much different from the one we just did. $120, $140, $160, $100, and $80. You know this is half. This is around a quarter. This is empty. This is around 3/4, and this is full. 2.5, 13.5, 34, 34, 13.5, and 2.5. All right, scores less than 120, y'all should be able to get that right off the bat. 50%. The percentage of scores greater than 140. 16, just like the last question. And between 80 and 140, what did we say it was? 0.5 or 81 even?
81.
So you just got to draw a picture. Once you draw a picture, you should be able to do it. All right, does that help on that one? I hope it does. Okay, that was a question. I don't know. Let's see. Did I do it this one? I don't know if I did this one or not. This is 6B, 15-4. Huh?
I think that's what we did last
We
time.
did? We went over all these, okay.
That's all the questions. Though.
Oh, yeah. The one I won't give on a test. Let me look and check to see if I got any over here. I don't think I do. I think that was the only question I had. Now, let's look and see what we got in 6C, because I think I've covered everything. Okay, whatever. Katana. I don't know what that is.
They get that from back in like 2002. A game came out called Halo, and Halo had the Cortana, which was basically the computer system.
Okay.
So that's where they get it from. A
Okay.
little bit of knowledge for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're not the first teacher I've had ask that.
I just think she forgot to turn something off. All right, let me look through this right quick and see. Let's go through 6.C. I think I'm on C. I'm on C. Well, let's just do this. Bring it down a little bit. What is average? I think I did that. Outlier. What is an outlier? I think I did that. Oh, look, they even said Michael Jordan's an outlier. I was right. Next. And I never look at this book. Let's see. Mean. Normal curve. I don't care about the mode, so that's not really what I'm going to test you on. I'm going to test you on normal, skewed left, skewed right. That's what I'll test you on as far as pictures like this. There they are. Variation, not that important, not as important as standard deviation. That's 6A. 6B, measures of variation. That's when we get into the standard deviation. There's the range. I told you how to get the range. Lower quartile, we talked about 5-number summary. That's the 5-number summary. We did that. Box plot, we did that. Standard deviation, we did that. That's where we found the standard deviation. That's 6B. 6C should be z-scores. 6C. Normal distribution. What is normal? Hi, how are you? Nice weather we're having. There's the, what they call it, the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. In 98% of your college textbooks and math 120 probability textbook, it's called the empirical rule. But y'all can't spell empirical. Y'all don't know what it means. Y'all can't spell and get definitions. So we dumb it down for this. It's the empirical rule. I can't stand this book. And they're just going over different applications. Standard score, z-score. There you go. We covered it. How to do a z-score. My goodness, we didn't cover this part. I didn't know what covered that. Alrighty then. Let's cover a z-score problem. Alright, let's look at this one right here. Write this problem down. There's two, remember I told you there's two parts to z-score. We learned the first part, how to calculate it. Now what do you do after you calculate it? Well, that's the second part. So why don't you write down this problem. The Stanford-Binet IQ test is scaled so that scores are normally distributed with a mean, ding, 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 of 100 and a standard deviation, ding, 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 of 16. Now, when you see that, what's the first thing that you should think of? Draw a what? Draw a picture. So you need to highlight this right here. Highlight that, and when you see that on the test, you need to draw a picture. And I put about 6 or 8 of these on the test. With a mean of 100, 16 and 16 is 32, right? 16, 84. Dang old, I have no idea. What's 84 minus 16? Dang old 68. So that's what you need to draw. Find the standard scores for 85, 100, and 125. So find those scores. Punch those scores in the formula. You got 3 problems. A is 83. Is that 83 or 85? I haven't even set this thing. It's supposed to go to default. When I just pulled this thing up and it goes to highlight. Nobody has put it on highlight. 85, 100, and 125. So you got 3 calculations there. Do it. If you can't do it, just sum it up as failure. You know, I read today. Let's see, where did I read that? That as of today, 471 people, almost 500 people, have been killed in Chicago. Can you believe that?
Just today?
Today, from the first of the year to today. Huh? I don't understand why people aren't protesting in Chicago. I guess that would make sense. Huh?
Is there other protests for things that don't matter because there's no consequences?
Yeah, maybe. Somebody sent that to me this morning. I'm just like, dang. All right. So here we go. 85 minus what? 100 over 16. 100 minus 100 over 16. And 125 minus 100 over 16. Well, I'll do the middle one for you. That's a z-score of 0. And 85 minus 100 is what? minus 15, Hubert. That's right, class. So that's negative 15 over 16. Which is close to negative 1, but it's not exactly negative 1. So somebody give me a decimal. Negative, give me 2 decimal, or 3 decimal places. What is it? What's 15 over 16?
0.94.
0.94 what? Even?
Let's round it up.
Well, give me what the calculator says. 9.3,
9, or if you do 3, it's 938.
938. Okay? And 25 over 16, that's not going to do us any good. Somebody give me 3 decimal places.
1.563.
563. Okay, now what's the problem with these? Well, they're not on your handy dandy, so we're going to erase these. Oops. And since they want us to put everything in Z-scores, 0, 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2. Which one can you actually tell me the answer to? 0.938, 0, or 1.563? You can do 0 because you know by the empirical rule that 0 is about 50%, right? But what do you do with the other ones? Just say, oh, we can't do it, and go on to the next problem. Cannot be done. That's it. Not enough information. No. You pull up your handy dandy table. And the handy dandy table is probably on the next page. There it is. So if you've got a book, turn to page 390 because there it is. Now what this book tells you, what this table tells you, is it tells you the area to the left of your mark. So y'all write these numbers down, 0.938, negative 0.938, 0, and 1.563, because I'm going to go to the whiteboard. Well, no, I need to, yeah, I'm going to have to go to the whiteboard. There we go. So you've got and you're going to see this again if you take 120. 0, 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2. And give me that first number. What was it? Negative point what? 9 what?
38.
0.938 is right there. And we want to know the area to the left of 0.938. Well, the empirical rule is not going to help us because the empirical rule only gives us to what? Negative 1. But we know that it's 16%, don't we? Is our answer going to be more or less than 16%? It's going to be more because it's a little bit to the right of 16%. Because we just went over that 16% a while ago. All right? So, we're going to have to look up 0.94 in the table. So we go over to our handy dandy table and you find 0.94. So where is 0.94? Z-score, 0.94, negative 0.94. Which one's closer, 90 cent or 95 cent to 94 cent? 94, 95, yeah. So 17.11. So the area in the hash marks on my curve is 17.11%. Now, if the left-hand side is 17.11, what's the right-hand side? The complement. 1 minus 17.11 is equal to Somebody do that for me in your calculator.
82.89.
82.89. So if this is 17.11, the scores above this point right here are 82.89%. Now, what did we say was to right here? 16%, and we said our answer was going to be more than 16%, is it? Yes, Hubert. Thank you, class, for interacting. All right, now the next one. Now the next one you said is 50%, but let's see. That's probably the answer, but let's look in our table. So let's go to the clear board and look up 0. Well, 0 is going to be between the positives and the negatives, so there it is right there. 0 is what? 50%. So we got that right. Now what's the other side? What's the other number? I'm going to do it in blue. Well, let me just do this. 1.
Are you talking about the decimal?
The number that we got.
1.5625.
1.5625. So I'm going to do it in blue. 1.5625. Well, 1.5 is going to be right about here. So 1.5625 is going to be right there. 1.5625, is that the number? Okay. Now the table is only going to give us the number to the left. So 2.5, 13 is 16 to 34, 34 is 68, 68 and 16. What does that come out to be?
84.
80 what?
84.
84. So 84 plus half of 13 is 91. So at this point right here, we're about 91%. So what's our answer going to be in relation to 91%? It's going to be more than 91%. Okay? Because ours is to the right of it. So let's go over to our handy dandy scale and look up 1.56. 1.56. Well, there's 1.5. What's closer, 1.56 or 1.6? 1.6. That'd be 94 point what? 94.52. So this to the left is 96 point what? Or 94 point what? 94.52%. And what's this side? 5.48%. So what does the Z-score allow you to, or what does the table allow you to do? It allows you to look up decimal numbers between the 0, 1, 2 and the 0, -1 and -2. Now we're talking about 5 or 6 questions on the test, so make sure you know how to do these on the homework, okay? Question. All right, now this is what it looks like. That's the last section of the last section. That's it. So it looks like we're going to be going over a test Wednesday. That means that the homework's probably going to cut off Wednesday or Friday, which means that the test is going to start Wednesday or Thursday, probably Wednesday. And it's going to last how long? 7 days, Wednesday to Wednesday. Okay? Question. Right, complaint.